I mean, that's a good one, but nah.
Yo, you tuning in to the Notion Podcast. I'm your host, Dizzy D Spill, with my co-host in the building,
Jelani Evans.
Farmer Poe.
What's good, fellas? How y'all living?
Oh, man. Comfortably.
Fresh and organic.
Man, this is some good responses, man. This is great. This is great. I want to kick it with y'all, man. Where y'all be hanging out at?
Yeah, it's
Man,
2024,
out the way.
man. It's 2024.
Stupid out the way, bro.
If you ain't been
Like,
getting your life together since 2020, I don't know what to tell you.
it's crazy. Man, bro, like.
That was a reset button.
It's not even just that, but it's like when you think about it, like, if there's something you really want to do, if there's something you're really serious about, like, you execute, right? You try to execute sooner than later. You don't wait for a date or a start time. Like so, I was like, I want to be in better shape.
Okay.
I'm getting older. I don't want to look like or feel my age.
Yeah,
Got it.
for sure.
So I was like, I'm going to start working out. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to wait till like, nah. I was like, it was like
Now.
July. It was like July, bro. And I'm like, August 1st, I'm going to start working out. And since August 1st, I've been consistent with working out. You feel me? Whether it's weights at the house or I get out to the gym, you know what I'm saying? Like gym couple days a week, weights couple. But I've been consistent because that's something that I was serious about. It's something that I wanted to do. When you convert it from how you was eating to how you are now, when you if you're serious about something, you make it happen. You don't wait for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just almost like I mean, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, everything is good, right?
Yeah, because 2020
Making it happen.
That was the opportunity for us all to do things that we wanted to do. We had a lot more time.
A lot of stuff that we were lacking on doing, we had that opportunity
We
to
all
get
talked
it
about,
done.
man, if I just had a come on.
You know what it is? It was though too. It wasn't so much the time as in the way things were being perceived.
Yeah, that's true.
You get what I'm saying? Like you almost needed certain things to happen for it to like give you a different perspective,
The
a
Wizard
different
of
point of
Oz.
view. Like
Curtain
open up your third eye so you can see things clearly. Type of jump off. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so since then, like, kind of been chilling, bro. Like, you know, executing and doing what I'm supposed to do and not tripping off what I can't do. And in the meantime, kicking my feet up. Like, it's been chill.
Not tripping off what you can't do is that's powerful for sure.
Well, you know how it is.
And I really feel like that understanding comes with age, dog. Like, for real. Because when I look back on stuff that I would trip on, even when I was 5 years younger than I am now, I'm like, man, I wish I had this mindset a lot sooner, a lot younger. Because once you understand, you know, to only focus on what you can control, you feel way more in control at the same time. Way more in control. So I definitely agree with that 100%. 100%.
Like you said, understanding. I think that's the biggest.
What did Dr. Umar say?
The biggest thing.
Understand, understand, and overstand, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
It's a difference.
You're all spelled differently. 100%. 100%. Nah, but how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good, bro. I woke up with a migraine, shook that off. You know what I'm saying? Shook that off and ran to the end zone. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you drip to that.
Shook that off.
A little bit, man. I gotta squeeze the juice out of the lemon one time before the seasons change. We can't wear no more sweats and hoodies and beanies.
I see the angle of the hat. It's like it's not all the way tilted, but you got the slight tilt. Like,
you know what I mean? So
watch me be in sweats and hoodies
in the middle of June. Just nah.
Yeah.
Just nah.
Yeah, nah.
I'll change when I'm ready.
Nah,
basically.
In the middle of June inside, it's finna be hot, bro.
Hey, believe it or not, we'll get a rainy day or two in June, just like on some fluke stuff, straight up.
And I'll be the one outside in the hoodie, like, told you.
You'll be sitting outside like, see, I should have been ready.
Listen. Yesterday I looked stupid for sweating, but look at me now.
Yeah,
like,
and look at y'all
walking around with an umbrella. Like,
Yo, man. I know you guys have been hearing a little bit about the TikTok situation and it being banned. But I wanted to take a different approach to it because it's been this conversation, you know, for those that maybe don't know the story behind it, but TikTok is on the verge of being banned in the US because they want their parent company, ByteDance, to sell it because they're worried about possible U.S. American information being connected to China, which kind of doesn't make any sense if you dig deep into who actually owns it and, where they're at, right? And so my thing was, I wanted to look at it from a perspective of what if it does go through, because I think the Senate needs to vote, right? And then at that point, it could be banned on all of the store platforms for phones and things of that nature. But I wanted to say, like, what do you guys think in your perspective on what the real reason is, if you think there's another reason behind it, and how much this could affect content creators if they do go through with it?
Yeah, it's a lot of questions, because are there any other apps that have ever been banned in the U.S.?
Nah, because they're all owned by the U.S.
Yeah,
so there you go. The questions, right?
Yep. Yeah, they're not really used to somebody else being the one to have the most exposure, be the big dog. Because right now, TikTok is the big dog app as far as in people's preference. People are usage. People are getting a lot of information, whether it's true or false, from there.
How people receive new information and like new content, like music, like things are what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of marketed on there. Like a new song might get like heard only because a bunch of people are doing the TikTok reels and all that.
Not now. Not after they passed that other law.
Oh well, I mean, what you call it? Yeah, just took their music back. Universal, right?
Yeah. They pulled their music off.
Basically, they're saying that they had tried to regulate the platform, and that argue that it could threaten national security because the Chinese government could use TikTok to spy on Americans or weaponize it to covertly influence the U.S. public by amplifying or suppressing certain content. Now, the thing that's so crazy about this is they already do that.
Yeah, I was about to say, so y'all want to do, only y'all can do it.
You are aware of that. No. What I'm saying is, like, TikTok already does this, because the TikTok that the kids over in China have access to versus the ones the kids over here have access to in the U.S. are completely different. They're like night and day. Like, there's a whole lot of BS and, miscellaneous. No. A lot of BS and miscellaneous content over here. While over there, the content that they're watching is educational, innovative, creative, gets the wheels turning, get you thinking. Well, and the thing about it is, it's not so much dumbing down as in that's what they're looking for here, because it's all about being a content creator and an influencer and going viral from the newest dance, or getting online and showing how you do your makeup or your hair, or and
they're separating. There's two different algorithms too, because over there the culture is different, where it is mainly about being educated and independent and very intelligent, versus over here the irony is that, okay, let's just say that we know that there's a different version of TikTok that's being consumed over here, right? But the crazy thing about it is that we can't be mad that that kind of stuff is being pushed over here as far as an algorithm, because that's what propaganda is all day on TV. When you look at TV stations, CNN, Fox, and all of that stuff, they're all saying the same thing, promoting the same content, the same conversation. So how mad can America be that TikTok is just following suit with what American consumption is as far as an entertainment goes?
Extremely upset because they're not the ones that are in charge. Duh.
Well, yeah, in that instance. Well, yeah, you know what? Because they're making it about something else. Yeah, you're right.
It's bigger than what, like, the potential of kids consuming.
Because, like, there's a lot of other companies where the mother company is owned by a Chinese company, and there's been no issues. There's been no talk of canceling or banning or any of that, right? But now you have this platform that's owned by an outside entity that you can't influence, you can't sway, you can't big brother, right? And so they have access to something that basically has the attention of everybody, the youngest generation, easily,
right?
You know what I'm saying? The most influential in that aspect. And you can't control the information that's being put out or that they're being allowed to have access to. It'd be different if you was the one giving the poison, but you're not. So now you have an issue with it. You can't be doing this to our people and all in the same breath, and all other aspects. You're doing it to the people, but you're issue is that you're not in control of this situation.
For sure.
So since you're not in control of the situation, it has to be banned, because if we can't control it, how are we going to be able to make things happen and manipulate the people? We can't do that if we can't control it.
And that younger generation ain't being swayed for anything. They're not taking any, like, I will say that with the younger generation, they're not just accepting whatever is being presented to them, and they are taking time to like break stuff down with some cold facts on a lot of different theories.
But they're not able to differentiate a lot. So
no, for sure.
They easily manipulate it because they don't have an idea as to the fact that this is not just a source of entertainment. This is a tool.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So,
well, you will have a lot of them that do believe whatever is said in a post, in a comment section, for sure. Yeah.
They know how to rebel in the sense of saying,
protecting their personal rights.
Speaking up.
Yeah.
But they don't really have knowledge behind a lot of their actions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's difficult for them to kind of like discern a lot of times. So they're easily manipulated, but the bigger mission is not just directed at the children. So that's kind of like how we are assessing it. Is like our children are being affected by it, but at the end of the day, it's a way bigger game than just what we at the lower level are probably experiencing or perceiving.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it has a lot to do with data and information, and potential.
Mm-hmm. They just did the same thing to Temu a few weeks ago, except they're not trying to ban them. But there was a lot of news articles saying like, yeah, be careful using Temu because they'll get all of your information. But what I thought was funny is when I looked at the comments of how many people were like, oh, so Amazon and everyone else ain't doing the same thing.
Listen, that's like when, some of us say we about to like do certain things or not participate in certain aspects of the system. It's like, dog, we've been doing this since the 90s.
Yeah.
They got our whole, like, once you filing taxes.
Yeah.
You doing this, like, whatever you're doing, you part of this system.
You have to completely live off. You have to completely live off the grid.
They got us.
Like, you got to live in the woods. You got to hunt, get your own food, farm. You don't use no electronics. And even then, you can still be found.
They'll send a drone out there and blow your ass up.
Right there.
Yeah. There you go.
Send a drone out there with a heat.
Send the drone Jerome out there and find where you're at. Yeah.
Done up.
Yeah.
Easy.
But yeah, I definitely agree with y'all. I definitely think it's more of a control issue. They don't control the app. They don't control their algorithm. They can't pick and choose. Like, you know how we can get shadow banned on Facebook and Instagram, and on that app, like anybody and everybody can get exposure. You know what I'm saying? And the hashtags work. You see what I'm saying? So they don't like that. And if there are, even though we are talking about like there is a majority of younger people that can get heavily influenced, there are like some small pockets that are really, really intelligent, and they're really putting information out there that I think makes our government uncomfortable because they're probably accurate or they have put together more proof than anyone else has done to say this is what's going on. And that's, I don't know. I just think it's a cold game because there are people that make a lot of money and can get, a certain lifestyle content creating, and that's being affected over some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Go get a real job, man.
Ain't no more of them left.
Hey, I mean, artificial intelligence is here, man. Straight up.
Man, artificial intelligence can't do everything. People just don't want to get their hands dirty.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. But man,
no, that AI is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Tell them to go change my tire.
In 2 months, they'll be able to do more than change your tire.
Well, in 2 months, get at me, because right now.
Hey, man, you got to watch the bait because, okay, change my tire.
Yeah, all right.
All right, go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Go ahead and throw that on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
Fire up the PlayStation.
Yeah,
man, listen.
Get some AI, my bitch.
Listen, you better be careful. You better be careful. And they not gonna be the AIs that we seen in the movies back in the 80s, and they walk like this and I malfunction. No,
I want them motherfucker to break dance into the kitchen and pop lock all the way over to the stove. Yeah, I ain't gotta drop it. Drop some fries in that heat.
Watch that house till I get back.
What if you got the AI that had like the low budget AI, so you couldn't?
They'll have them. The Temu AI.
The quality of what they did for you was based on the level of AI you got.
So if you got the lower model, it talk back.
Yeah. You know, you getting hamburger helper and shit.
If you got the lower model, yours might not even talk.
They only know how to make hamburger helper and macaroni and cheese, Kraft macaroni and cheese.
They only cook when they feel like it. So you be like, go in the kitchen. It's like, nah, I'm not doing that. You go in the kitchen.
That's the AI that you getting.
Yeah.
In
the low budget one.
You can't get your AI from Amazon all the time. It's not gonna work all the time.
You shouldn't get it then.
But you get the Apple AI, shit gonna be smooth.
Yeah, it's gonna run smooth as long as you update it. Because if you don't update it or you don't get the new version, it's gonna start tripping.
Make sure you update the AI.
It's gonna leave doors unlocked, and you know what? I don't want to be at this house no more. And
Start tripping out on you.
Yo, so
my Samsung S6 still works.
Hey, I ain't mad at it, dog.
What if they have the two versions of the AI though? They got the Android and the Apple version.
I'll be Samsung, man.
One will be able to get hacked and the other one won't. That's how it always goes.
Other one will be you can take it out and go places. The Android one, you stay at home. It's not gonna be compatible with
the battery. The battery don't last as long.
The rest of the world not gonna be compatible.
They need to end that war, man, and just make peace, man. I got both.
They started.
I got both, man.
Apple got the same charger now. They went back.
I got both, dog.
Hey,
how do y'all feel about I don't know how deep y'all looked into it. How do y'all feel about Candace Owens getting fired?
I don't feel about
in the timing.
Was she fired or did they have a mutual? Like, did she leave?
I'm gonna be honest. From the timing of what I've been seeing going on in the past 2 weeks, I feel like they just said it was mutual, but they got her up out of here.
On the same breath, though, there's been some tension with her and the owner.
Who, Ben Shapiro?
For a minute now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. If once her views, he's
back in October.
Mm-hmm.
Back in October, there was some friction, some tension over
some comments.
Either comments she reposted, shared, liked. She even made some comments herself, and ever since then, there's been like this back and forth and this tension. And I just feel like at some point she knew it was coming. Mm-hmm. Like you can't be bumping heads with the owner of the company you work at and expect everything just to continue to be peachy.
And especially when he wear a yarmulke.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what does that mean, brother?
No, I'm saying her views. Let me context.
I know what you mean.
Context is important.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So her views and the comments that she's been making have been based on the conflict between Israel and Palestine. So Ben Shapiro is a known person to be of Jewish faith, right? And definitely wears the yarmulke.
Yeah. So in a sense, it's like he's hardcore behind his religion.
That's what I was
okay.
saying. Yeah.
So with him being hardcore behind his religion, he took her comments a little more personal than somebody else would have.
I would imagine.
And so that, there was tension, they were bumping heads, they were beefing, they went back and forth over social media and whatnot.
Which is crazy to me.
I'm about to say it was public, so it was out there. And so then it's like, this is March. Bro, come on. At some point, she had to have known, like, yeah, this isn't getting any better. I definitely probably need to make some moves. So while you're saying, like, the timing is kind of crazy, it's almost like it might have been strategic on her part to do some of the things that she did.
Get her name out there.
Get her name out there, create some awareness, right? Maybe tap into a different target audience by doing the thing with Joe. But you know what I'm saying? It seemed like she did some things to be a little strategic because she knew it was coming.
Yeah.
She's not dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
it's kind of smooth.
Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say what I gotta say. It's like, oh, y'all gonna keep trying to quiet me, so that means y'all probably gonna try to get me out of here sooner than later. What are some things that I can do to put myself in a position? Because she also made comments that she's gonna get back to posting more content on her YouTube channel, like she used to. So she was strategic about it. She knew it was coming. The thing about it is,
she could be in the makings of creating her own platform. I think she does have her own platform. That's who Joe Budden was on her platform. He wasn't on his actual.
Well, it was on Patreon, right?
It was on Patreon. Oh, okay. So
I mean, even though everybody has their own Patreon channels and whatnot, but my whole thing about it is like, if you're gonna be somebody who is outspoken like that, you either need to be working with, around, under individuals who share the same views and opinions as you,
right?
Or you need to be at the head of the table so you can kind of run things and say what you want, how you want. Because as long as you are under somebody else, there's always gonna be room for error or tension in where you're gonna disagree, and you're gonna disagree about your disagreeing.
Special,
you get what I'm saying?
Controversial views that's gonna occur every so often, or a
especially
lot.
Within the field, with the field that you're in. If you're in the field of reporting, being a journalist, like there's gonna be some controversial views, takes, opinions, and all of that. And so, of course, you and everybody you deal with, you're not gonna agree all the time, but at least somebody where there's an understanding behind how you operate, so you don't have to have that type of tension, because that was wild. Like,
I'm gonna use the term anti-culture, but I'm gonna assume that people know who I'm talking about. That sounded like the narrative behind why there was a parting of ways, because she was labeled as anti-culture to that culture, right? And when I did some looking into what was being said and the context of it, it seemed like a reach. Some of the stuff seemed like a reach. And even today, when we hear certain individuals that are labeled anti that culture, the points that are being made is like, okay, well, that could be swayed in a direction depending on how you take context versus the whole context of whatever that statement was made.
But it's usually a reach because they're trying to paint a certain picture.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, and the thing about it was so crazy. It's like, all right, think about that one coworker that you don't like, right? For whatever reason, whatever happened. If that nigga come in the break room, and if he come in the break room and breathe wrong, you be like, oh my gosh,
I can't stand this person.
So then, if they did something that rubbed you the wrong way already, you're gonna amplify everything that they do and put a magnifying glass on anything that they do that you feel is wrong or can be questioned, or you can twist to convert to fit a storyline that you want, so you can get them out of here.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Yep. So it's like, it was a reach, but for the people who wanted her out, it wasn't as much of a reach as you feel it was. We feel like it lined up because it made our story hit that much harder. But it was definitely some reaching going on.
Yeah, so do you think that she put some things in place, sitting down with Joe Budden, sitting down with the Breakfast Club, and you know what I'm saying? Because that could have happened at any time. That could have happened at any time.
But it, like, again, no awareness, notoriety in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going on these platforms,
black platforms,
and you're talking to a lot of individuals who might know your name but not really know who you are, know where you stand, know what you're about, know how you talk, know how you approach things, and they might agree or have an understanding or even align with a lot of your beliefs or core values. So then you open yourself up again to a new target audience. So everything, while it was nice for her to actually like just open up about a lot of stuff, I also feel like it was strategic to a certain extent. It wasn't just, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this and then that happens. Oh my God, life's crazy. No. Good play.
Yeah. No, yeah. It was a hell of a play. Yeah. It was a hell of a play. I won't take that from her. But I also think that what I thought was funny is I watched her interview like the day it came out on
Joe Budden?
No, the Breakfast Club.
Okay.
And it was actually a good interview. Like I learned a little bit more as far as in her stance on things, because I don't tap into her channel too often. And they asked her a question about what was going on. And she was like, yeah, this person doesn't have, the control, over me and how I'm going to be working there and this, that, and the other. And then the next day, she was dropped. And I thought that, like, when I say timing from sitting down with Joe Budden, sitting down with Breakfast Club, saying who got what control, to it leading up into, like, now, we parting ways. It definitely sounded strategic now that I play everything back. Because for me to say, like, hey, this person doesn't determine what happens with me and they are higher up, Well, they just showed you, but that's what you wanted. Kind of like Kanye and Adidas, right?
Let me text this person. Get you out of here.
But Kanye did the same thing with Adidas, right? I mean, I want out of this situation. So I'm going to make it very difficult for you to keep me in agreement with you, right?
So I'm going to say some things that I know will get you to kick me out of here.
Yeah, get me up out of here, right? Yeah. And the crazy thing is he did prove a point as far as in like him holding that weight, because Adidas has declined like crazy. So I do think that sometimes individuals know what they bring to the table too, to where it's like, all right, I know I can't just walk out of here. Y'all gonna have to Jazzy Jeff me out of here, but we gonna see what these numbers do once you get me out of here. You know what I'm saying? So
smart move if that's the case.
Yeah,
grab his other ankle, drag him
straight up, man. Yo, this one is wild with the. So yeah, I read this conversation a couple times with this teacher, getting fired for being a rapper is how I look at it.
Can we just say we are in the age of teachers just constantly getting fired for things?
Yes.
All of our teachers started like they were old and they just stayed there.
Were they really old, or does it seem like they just seem old to us because we was little kids and they
Nah. These teachers I haven't seen a teacher over the age of like 40, or they're all younger than 40 now.
Well, they're very young. They're in their 20s.
I'm saying, but
I've seen teachers in their 20s. I've seen
just to give a range. I've seen teachers at 19, 20.
Yeah. But
they haven't been through anything but school.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they get out of high school, and some of them is advanced, and then they go right back.
To school
to teach, and it's just like, bruh, like
teach what?
Out the book, because you ain't got no life experiences, and you're in debt. Like, what do you? That's crazy.
And they getting kicked out of school for things that have nothing to do with the school, right? Like, it's not like they just teaching them things and it's like, well, that's a controversial topic you're teaching there, sir. Yeah. It's like, what you doing outside that school is some like.
I feel like teachers used to be older, but I feel like their lives used to be more together.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like our teachers,
of course,
they had different things going. Like my teachers, our teachers, like some of them, like, man, I can't wait to grow up so I could do stuff like them. Like they were very well put together, older. It would seem like
they were witty too, man.
Yeah,
teachers were witty.
Some of them like were retired and teaching because they love to teach. Really, you come here to deal with these that's wild. But it's just
they had a certain attire too. Like the teachers had certain, remember that long jumpsuit skirt thing, like stop playing, man.
So basically they had no fashion,
bro. And then it was like, you always like the coolest teachers, you know what they were? They dressed sloppy.
Yeah,
like
they dressed down. They was chill,
bro.
And they had all the snacks in the closet.
Have a short sleeve button up shirt, right? Half tucked, half untucked,
wrinkled.
Some denim that it looked like he just grabbed out of a pile, and he comes to school and people respect him, and he hella chill, and he just
crack jokes,
bro. Man, and
kept his cool,
bro.
Yeah.
It's just like
drive a Sabre.
It was so different.
Just
back
didn't
then.
have
the coolest thing about their fit was their sunglasses. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Some of them cars they pull up in, you be like, yo, what else the teacher do? Where else they teach?
Yeah, for sure.
So
the teacher was a rapper. She got fired.
She's a rapper. On the side.
I mean, like, let's be honest.
Let's talk about what kind of rapper she is, because D1 been a rapper and a teacher for a very long time.
This is true.
All I'm saying is, if her bars were better, maybe.
So, we can't fire her. We can't fire her for her bars.
We got two different conversations. Should you be held accountable for the things that you do outside of work? Should they have any bearing on your ability to perform the job when you are there?
Yes and no.
Yeah, it depends on the job, bro.
So there's morals and there's like
that's a
actual
yes.
Policies.
That is a yes and no answer.
If she could rap, would she have gotten fired if she could rap?
Listen, we need you to step your bars up
because she was doing the little.
Because right now,
now you on the
now you on the hot seat. That last EP was not hidden. So we gonna
just step the bars
definitely
up.
Drop your overall GPA.
But let's say this: could the effectiveness that she had? That's what if all her students got straight A's?
Well, this is what's so crazy.
You'd have to question why they got straight A's.
This is the whole thing about it, right?
They bars is nice.
She might just be writing A's for everybody.
As long as it's not anything that is negative, demeaning, derogatory, I don't feel like you should get fired for what you do outside of your job.
Okay.
Right? So she's a rapper, right? Was she extremely sexual? Was she extremely vulgar? Or was she just a rapper outside of her teaching job?
She raps. You
see what I'm saying?
Listens to Sexy Red.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the bars, but for me, I really honestly, I guess if you're not an effective teacher, you're not an effective teacher. If you were, because I don't know. I don't really think I would care. And as a parent, that's not even my business.
I mean, it's kind of depends on how you look at it. Because in a sense, you could be like, it makes it more easy to connect because of
she's teacher of the month.
Like if the kids see what you do outside of school and they feel like that's something that they can relate to, or they might be able to talk to you a little more, open up to you because your level of understanding might be different because now they don't see you as just a teacher.
Dog.
These
kids not dumb. They're like let's have a real conversation. We gotta have a real conversation. These kids are not dumb. They're we talk a lot about like how we are different from them, but I've been in these schools with these kids, dog. Especially these kids coming from certain environments. You gotta speak to these kids a certain way. You gotta be able to relate to them in a certain way, and if not, you're not getting to.
They're gonna smell. They almost can smell what type of way they can get over on you based off of how you engage with them.
You got to talk. They talk, but you got to be able to bring that in and reel it in and provide the proper type of education that they need. But you got to be able to speak to them because they're not going to relate to you.
Yeah,
it's going to be difficult to get them to be on a level of wanting to even listen. Be in the class, be able to take criticism from you, like all these different things, bro. It's difficult. So my thing is she bringing that into the classroom in a way that's ineffective or
well, I think
having an issue provide.
I think what we've read, we really don't know.
But this is where I was going to get to. Charter school. All that don't matter what we think at the end of the day for that. That's a charter school, which means that they're not beholden to the same stipulations, rules, policies as a school district, another school district like the unified school district.
Right.
So they kind of they create their own rules.
Yeah, they're on their own island.
So at the end of the day, you should already know that too, being a parent, a student, and a faculty member of that charter school. So you kind of like, I see that she said she was going to get a lawyer and things of that nature, but
yeah, because
different rules.
Well, yeah, because how do you put that in your rules without sounding like discrimination? And I'm pretty sure, I would believe, right, that in their set of rules, they can't say you can't do this, you can't do that, or do it a certain type of way, because the attorney can eat that up and say, hey, that's discrimination.
But if they talk about content in the back and how it may be has to do with the image of the school and the faculty that they want to present.
This is how I would argue that as a lawyer, though. Is that person wearing anything from that school? Are they wearing sweaters, jackets, any apparel or anything? Are they recording their music videos in the classroom? Is there anything in their content that's identifying that they're connected to that school?
Then I would respond and say the contract that she signed when she started working here, it said that you cannot be involved in things of that nature outside of the school.
That's the contract. You see what I'm saying? I think
it's a charter school, and so
think
it's
that
easy to get you out of there. Like she don't have a union maybe at that charter school, because if she would have had if she would have been part of a teachers union, then she might have had a different type of fight.
Maybe
because this
so.
wouldn't have went as far as to say she got fired, because if she's already fired, then there's been some due process. If you have a union, then that whole different thing that's a whole
it's going to turn into a case rather than just a decision.
So being part of a charter school, perhaps you are not part of a union. There are teachers unions that are part of the unified school districts that will fight the fight for you, and it's going to be a longer and harder fight sometimes based on certain things, especially if you have tenure. Once you get tenure, then it's almost like you can't be fired for damn near anything.
Yeah, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, she didn't have tenure.
So basically what happened is the teacher's been an educator for 7 years. They said it came to an abrupt end months after she says a parent came across one of her rap videos. Mm-hmm. So now, like,
that's the interesting thing too.
Kids might not have even known. The kids might not even be aware.
They didn't.
But because the parent came across the music video as an adult, as a person of age, which can happen, you don't want her to teach your kids because of the music that you came across that you obviously listened to. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, why would it be anywhere in your timeline, right? Right. So you don't want this person to teach your kids because of what they do outside of the classroom that isn't affecting how they teach your kids. Mm. But because you don't like the music, because you didn't like the video, because you don't feel that's something
you basically made the spot hot because of your personal preference coming across the content, which honestly, who knows how that parent really came across the content. It could have been somebody that knew the teacher, that knew the parent, and said, yo, this person does music videos or whatever the case is. But to answer to what you said, Poe, because you said, I gave the answer of yes and no. I'm going to just go off of circumstances for a minute, right? Who knows what our teachers were doing when we were in school, because there was no YouTube, there was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, there was none of that. The only way really anybody knew what your teachers did is if other adults, meaning parents knew teachers that worked with that teacher, or parents knew that teacher, and then conversation started. So it was no way for it to get to the kids.
Or another kid said they was doing some other shit.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of teachers doing some extracurricular activities outside of the school.
Yeah.
After school.
Exactly.
After school programs and all types of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely, that's why I'm saying, like, I honestly,
I seen Mr. Hopkins leave the hotel wearing makeup. Like, what? The gym teacher?
Kids spending the night at houses and all.
Yeah, for real.
Things. So that's why I'm saying, like, I honestly, what are they doing in the classroom is what I care about, because I could go anywhere. The person that made the burger that you eating is back there doing some wild shit.
Not with the burger, I hope.
I like how you threw the I hope at the end, because I don't have any control of what's going on back there.
Yo, I don't even eat burgers no more.
He back there doing some wild shit.
Yeah, man.
You feel me? But I mean,
ain't nobody ordering fast food after this.
Somebody's sitting there with your kids and being with your kids.
I think that's yeah. Of course.
Feel me? I get it, but I mean, come on now.
It's so touchy when you're talking about kids, because 100% you want the people that are around your kids, that interact with your kids, that deal with children just in general. You want them to have a certain set of morals, right? Values, patience, understanding, and a certain approach. We want to make sure that they're right upstairs, right? Mm-hmm. On the same rep, that doesn't mean that they can't be a rapper and also be a great teacher. I feel like those are two separate things. It's almost like having a daytime job and a nighttime job. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of rap's fault too, though, because rap was always rappers made it like what you rapping about is how you living. That kind of that was.
I mean, as long as she ain't walking in the classroom like, "What's up, my little niggas? What type of time
she
we on?"
Might
type,
have to though.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
she working at high school, dog.
No,
look,
they not lifting their head up until you say, "What's up, nigga?"
I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent about it for several reasons, and I'll tell y'all what makes me feel indifferent about it. There's a part of me that feels like, yeah, I don't agree with you basically being harassed on what you do outside of work hours if it's not affecting your work, your professionalism, and anything of that nature. But I ain't gonna hold you. if my daughter was going to school and I found out that like a Sukihana retired from rapping and decided to go into the teaching world,
she might be a great teacher, dog.
Yeah, but not for my daughter.
But this
but not for my daughter.
This the difference.
But hold on. Let me finish. Let me land. My point is that I would just make the decision to make sure my kid isn't being taught by that individual. Hey, can I get another teacher? I'm not going to blow the spot up for her.
But how you going to discern that? Whether that teacher is not a good teacher for your daughter unless you
because I'm going off of personally what I have seen prior to the teaching, which I probably wouldn't get that opportunity, but I got it. So I'm gonna use it. And I'm gonna say nah. So, now if this woman, because even if this woman decided to change, and the reason why I'm using her for an example is because
she's the worst.
Yes.
Yes. Down to the worst.
You know what I'm saying? And you, regardless of how you switched your life up, you put that message out there, and some people took that and ran with that and modeled themselves behind that. I don't want my kid to be in that position to where they come across that and be like, because kids are gonna do this to their parents, bro. So 15 years from now, kids are gonna go pull up your Instagram and Facebook and say, explain this, but I can't go do this.
But so
that's why all my dirt
your kid's not in school yet. They'll be in school.
Some of my dirt is on MySpace. They won't see anything.
It's gone. Let's wrap. You got an AOL to find that. Your kids will be in school soon.
Yes.
You can have the interactions that you want with that teacher. Like, you can go up and find out who that person is. You could be in that classroom. You could go sit. You could do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that, to me, is how I've been operating, and I'm sure you'll be operating as well.
Yeah.
You got they texting you now. You texting, you got their emails. You could go in these classrooms and sit. You can observe.
So how we know this woman wasn't texting a link to her new video, her mixtape dropping?
But this is my thing.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Such and Such. Your kid got to see, but peep the mixtape though.
You can feel a person. Shit might be hot. Shit might be hot. But you as you become as you get more, as your kids go deeper and deeper into school, you'll see how much communication you have with our
parents having with our teachers.
Or the ability to just go and find out who this person is. Like, I get it. Like, you may have your own feelings about it, like I would too, and your own concerns. But to me, it's almost like the neighbor that's making too much noise upstairs, and then you go and tell the office, instead of saying, "Hey, excuse me, would you mind turning it down at 11?
That's why I said if it was me, I wouldn't blow her spot up like that. I would just remove my kid from the scenario because
you're not even giving Sukihana a chance.
No, I'm not,
bro. She might be a fire K through.
You want me to say
two
it?
teacher.
I'll say it. I doubt it. She seems to be really stupid. I'll say it. She got called a musician and thought she got called a magician.
Yeah,
I think she's playing the game, dog.
And she's playing it very well.
And the controller is not plugged up.
I think she's it's wireless. It's wireless. It's wireless.
Something is detached.
I think some, and perhaps not, but it's a lot of people who do present a image in their acting as well. And then the like, for a lot of us, we wouldn't have known that many of the artists that we deem to be these like street guys or whatever are college educated, not only college educated, but have high honors in academics. And
perception.
How much time did you have to do that? Like, Jadakiss didn't get out into the streets until he was like, had just finished getting out of his first year of college. You know what I'm saying? So like, the image that these individuals may present is a very good one, and it may be part of who they are in their personality.
As far as an act, yeah.
But they have other aspects about them, like athletes who come out and they're doing these things that we would like, engineering and shit like that. Like, how are you involved in these different types of things? And so I think that there are different aspects to who we are, and when we present that, it's in the right environment.
I think that
she still can't teach my kids.
All right, I'm gonna give you Sukihana. I'm not gonna argue that.
That's why I picked that worst scenario. With this woman though, I do feel like there could be pushback either way, because I understand. I just know with that one parent, I don't know if that would have really been enough for this, if I'm making a decision, enough for her to lose her job because of this one person.
She's the leader of the Parent Teachers Association, though.
Well, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That's one of them parents.
That's what it sounds like. Now, as far as the teacher, I'm kind of curious on like, well, how long were you doing this? I mean, did you go into teaching and you already had this going on? Because now I'm looking at like whoever hired her dropped the ball. 'Cause
7 years is a long time.
Right. So if you've been doing this for 7 years and it ain't been no issue until this one person said something about it, there's some pushback there.
It could be either the Parent Teacher Association. It could be somebody who donate money to this charter school. That's what I'm saying. This is a charter school. This is a whole different type of ball game. Conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
It's somebody that could be filling y'all pockets, and you got to move a certain way.
Yeah.
So it could be that.
Yeah, so it was a charter school?
It's a charter school.
Okay.
Yeah, they mentioned it numerous times that this was a charter school that she worked at.
So you look at it like you wouldn't have let what she's doing outside school affect her teaching your kid.
Unless what you were doing outside was brought into the classroom by bringing it into the classroom, it was not an effective way to teach or interact with the children.
What about you, Jelani? If you had kids and it was that situation, would you deem that as inappropriate for a teacher? And would you agree with the parent that helped to get her up out of there?
It depends on the content.
And mind you, this is high school too. So think about the
mindset of
the child. Like,
I mean, I just put myself in high school when we was listening to in high school.
Yeah, true.
I would have been like, that's lit.
Yeah.
The whole thing about it though, it's just like, if you are out here rapping like Rhapsody or Sexy Red?
That's gonna matter.
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No,
it
should though, because it also adds to the image of who you are. Whether you're putting on a facade, portraying a character when you rap or whatever the case may be, that is still a part of you, and it helps to create the overall image. Right. So how you are operating outside of school, in the context that you're operating as a teacher, that matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it matters.
What would matter to me?
Should your past matter as well?
To a degree. I mean, that's why we do background checks.
I mean, a
lot of us do background checks, we get fingerprinted.
But
that's not for them to find us if we get lost.
That's before you get hired. She's hired.
What do you mean?
She's hired. So should my past, present?
That's why I made the point of, if she's been doing this the whole time, the hiring team, the hiring process, they dropped the ball on doing research on her, because then they would have had an opportunity to have a conversation, ask questions, get an understanding, so that way when any parent does show up, well, yeah, we've already reviewed this.
Either that or that she had everything so, like, how can I put this? Everything was very well separated.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so because of that, unless you actually knew who she was specifically, you wouldn't have really been able to recognize her over here.
Yeah.
So because she teaches your kids, you know who she is. So when you see her over here, you feel me, spitting bars, you're like, wait a minute, isn't that it? That's my... So if that doesn't line up with how you feel a teacher should be carrying themselves that's dealing with your kid, then, I mean...
That's your personal... Yeah, it's your personal bag.
It's always going to be personal preference, because, again, like, if you got OnlyFans and you're a teacher, that's an issue.
That's different. Sexual content different.
If you're a stripper at night and in a day you're teaching math, that's different.
That's different.
You see what I'm saying?
The sexual content is going to be different for me, for my child being in high school, because of how now that is going to prevent maybe their ability to learn in the classroom, because there are going to be things that are going to surface around that, and now you are looked at in a sexual way, and that's just a distraction. Now, music and artistic expression is like...
Man, I got something for all of those points.
What about this, though?
What about... I really do.
Your gym teacher also fights MMA.
Say that one.
Your gym teacher
also fights MMA.
Fights MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Then we gonna stay after school and learn some things. What we doing? We learning.
Well, I like that, because that is violent at the end of the day. But I can't see a gym teacher losing their job over fighting MMA on the side.
That's what I'm saying.
But I did that for a reason, though.
Yeah.
Like, nobody even batted an eye. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. I hope he's winning. That's a good...
Matter of fact, parents and other staff members are like, on Friday, we're going to watch Mr. Parker's fight. So
it's sexual
get your permission slip signed by your parents. You see what but that is kind of crazy when you think about it, though, because MMA, it's literally violence.
I was hoping for an extra ticket, but
it's literally... Okay, there's some points I wanted to address. All right, so the OnlyFans thing, I could see the real reason why that could be an issue with a teacher doing that, because teachers have been fired for that, right? Is because kids have access to that content. They will find a way to that content versus a teacher working at some club at night where kids are supposed to be asleep, shouldn't even have access to be able to get in, should be under the supervision of their parents, to where they could probably get away with that. But I do like the MMA comparison, because that's literally violence. And one of the things that rap and hip hop gets a bad stigma for is violence. Straight up. So that would be kind of a good debate. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a gym teacher somewhere that has a losing record in MMA or something like that. But I do think, for me personally, because I asked y'all perspective, right? I think personally for me, I would really have to look at the fact that, like, how have they been engaging with this teacher? My son or my daughter has said nothing but great things. They've stayed after school, helped with tutoring. I've seen my kids' grades go up. I've seen the way that they do their classroom structure. I don't know if I can let this woman rapping, especially me being an artist, so that might be a little bit of bias there, but I don't know if I could let that affect my kid in that environment, because then we can get somebody that don't rap, that don't have a life, dedicate themselves to teaching, but don't want to teach my kid a damn thing, and is actually hyper fixated on failing my kid.
I'm telling you, that teacher that got them students, I'm guaranteeing you, not just to, maybe they didn't hear her music or even know that maybe she rapped, but she brought that into the classroom. She brought the fact that she can relate to them and is into the same types of things that they are into.
Yeah.
And that energy is transferred. Like, these kids, they not listening to a lot of these teachers, bro. You gotta get these kids something that they relate to you, and they have to look at you as somebody that they can emulate and see themselves as. See some aspect of themselves in you,
and I've actually done better as a student when I can relate to certain teachers.
For sure.
A
lot of us not only have we not had black teachers, many people have never had a black teacher. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Till I went where I went, I didn't really have a black teacher. Yeah.
Especially out here in California.
Yeah.
Like in the South, maybe it's different, but a lot of us don't have black teachers. So the relationship that they have with these kids, they probably see themselves. She may have seen herself in a lot of these students. And like I said, bro, she was teacher of the month. So
relate to the kids. Coming in the push ice and Crocs.
All right, y'all, take out y'all homework. Hold on, put your shiesties on first.
Yeah. And she's knowing what they're talking about in their classroom. Y'all not getting away with it. She hearing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Zazas.
Yeah, they know what that means. So yeah. She probably educating the other teachers on what's going on.
Exactly.
For real. Y'all ain't up on y'all fractions, so we're gonna slide into these books.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, see, I know the stance you're coming from, because you have a heavy background with working with kids, and so you've explored certain elements. So I mean, I get that.
K through 12, I've seen how they bro, it's a different ballgame. These kids.
I mean, I don't know. It is a different ballgame. Like it also depends though. I'll say that because in all my experience in working with kids, it's always been smooth, but right. I don't look like a teacher. You see what I'm saying?
That's where you get
That's the new way to get to him.
I pull up, you feel me? It's like, oh, he got the fresh kicks on up. They might be some that just
he got the blankety blank song. You already are cool.
Okay, I see.
You know
what I'm saying?
You already solidified.
Because bro, it was so crazy. The kids will gravitate to people they feel they can actually relate to or confide in, and it's. Like you said, there's nothing to be said. It just okay, I can deal with this person. I can rock with this person.
So here's the irony. I just thought about it. Here's the irony that I think supports what I feel like all three of us is trying to say. how many times do these schools bring rappers to the school to talk to the kids?
It depends. I just seen Jay Maine at the schools handing out whoops.
No, what I'm saying is that's a common thing. I've seen plenty of schools. I've seen plenty of schools bring somebody popular that raps to the school and they lose their head. Or like that, or that popular video that went around when the DJ was at the school playing on the piano and then it turned into Still Dre and the whole school went crazy. They're very influenced and very involved. Yeah, it happens in the South a lot.
A lot of them that go to the schools and perform at the schools.
Say, guys, we got a guest speaker today. Mr. Murder shot 2 times.
Moneybag, yo. It be all kind of like...
Not murder shot 2 times. Talking about put the guns down.
Yeah. You come over here.
Yeah, it's no more started.
Now they got to tell their parent that they took a photo with murder shot 2 times.
And their parent is probably like,
rally.
"Oh, what? He was there. Like,
you didn't call me. You grounded."
Exactly. They want the autograph too. Nah, but yeah, man. Whether we like it or not,
I'm the
man,
one who put you on.
we are people of who have a cultural value, and so if you are not perceived as being of the culture, because we. You know, people gonna look at the teacher like, oh, the teacher is corny already, a nerd or whatever. Somebody who is only able to be good in this environment.
In that environment.
It's like, but once they see like, oh, he came in, like, even if it's just the shoes, it's the shirt, it's the talk, it's like the music. Maybe you just relating to them in a certain way. They're gonna definitely be more willing to kind of like.
Mr. Nate,
listen,
dude at Valley Oak, the black dude. I think his name was Mr. Nate.
Damn.
He used to be the main dude on the yard when we had like passing periods and stuff like that.
I forgot all
he in the yearbook, but
but
a lot of us black kids, because we were the minorities at that school, we gravitated to him. He was cool. He knew how to speak the language and everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that's what, because now, like, as we're talking, I'm thinking about certain people that I gravitated to who I felt understood me or understood something.
If they could play ball, they
could play ball
during the rec time, and they're playing basketball with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything, any type of way that you relate to them around the culture, they will open up to you for sure.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think we all got it. I think we all on the same page as far as that, man. I don't know, like, what the hell is going on in the climate, but I'm pretty sure you guys got your own opinions on it. But this whole, let me just say it, man, this whole shit with this woman apparently getting online with her dude, and sometimes I don't even know if it's staged anymore or what's going on, but she got online with this dude, and her husband, said that she cheated and that she gave him a pass, and they proceeded together like idiots, explain the situation, why he gave her, and why he chose not to take the pass to get her back, get his get back.
I don't believe this shit.
The first thing I think about is like, what the fuck is going on?
Why are you telling us?
Yeah.
Why do you feel the need to explain this to us?
Right. None of us know you. We weren't at the wedding. We weren't invited.
And
we're not included.
Then you're going to get mad at the comments.
Yeah, you're going to get mad and you're going to try to explain yourself. But that's why I also had to pose a question in my head, like, are folks doing this, like, really just flat out, all right, we're going to plan this? Probably never even happened.
Yes. It's like the fake prank videos.
Yeah.
For sure.
But it does start conversation. And it just helps you understand the total ignorance and how people really think. Because this could very well be a hypothetical.
Remember when we had like when you would go to the grocery store and it was like the actual, like, the brands, and now you see a lot of generic brands.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost like that for now, for content. It's like there are real situations out there where people are maybe talking about things that happened and really occurred, but a lot of it is like just fake stuff now. Like someone is seeing that there is not a void, but there's this platform or like this model, mm-hmm. right, for certain types of content.
Yeah.
And they're just going out there creating it, and it's all fake. I mean,
So you believe it's fake? You believe the video is fake?
I haven't seen the video, but it sounds to me to be
fake,
especially if they did have like a presence on social media or whatever platform it is before this?
I didn't even go look them up. I just seen the actual video itself. I didn't even bother to go look the couple up and figure out their origin story or anything.
Had the videos, like they do the videos on YouTube together, and then they end up, she gets on there and she's like, I just want to tell you guys, me and Jason are not together anymore. And then they both have different YouTubes, and then they come back. They've ended up coming back together. Seemed like it was very real.
Yeah, trying to get the exposure, trying to get it. Yeah, trying to get it back rocking.
But they had like an actual presence on the channel for a long time with different types of content that wasn't really related to that. So I'm wondering whether this couple, did they have any content before that, or did they just pop up out of nowhere?
Like I said, I didn't really bother to look into their backstory. I didn't. I just kind of left it alone at that and was just like, all right, it's a whatever thing. But I do know that I question the legitimacy. What you think, Jelani? You think it's real?
I want to say no. Like I mean, like, do those type of situations happen? Of course.
Of course, yeah.
Do I believe what you sent me specifically that I seen? Do I believe that was real? No. It just because it's like this, right? If you got cheated on, you're embarrassed.
Yeah.
If you got caught cheating, you're embarrassed. Right? So either depend on, regardless of what side of that, you're gonna feel some type of way about it.
Right.
And then the thing about it is, if you're looking to work things out, you're not going to put it out there because you want to have it die down and fade out sooner than later.
Right.
You telling more people outside a relationship, they're not going to feel how you feel about the person.
Exactly.
So they're going to hold that against them, and they're always going to speak on it, or, you know what I'm saying, draw attention to it.
As if it's still
always going to be
or not resolved.
It's always going to be a topic of conversation as long as you're dealing with that person.
Especially on the internet.
You see what I'm saying? So then it's like, all right, she cheated and you took her back. So now when anything else happened, you feel me? Well, you know she cheated, so you get what I'm saying? They're always going to double back to that. So if you're actually trying to work it out, then that's definitely something that should stay in-house.
For sure. I agree.
And then if you're not trying to work it out, then I mean, like, he don't need a pass to cheat. He could just go do what he wants because he's leaving you. Yep. I don't know. It just didn't make any sense to me now. Some of the things that they were saying in the video as to why he didn't, I mean, that makes sense if you were looking to try to rectify your marriage.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you cheated on me, but I love you, and I actually want us to get back on the same page and get things right. So two wrongs will make a right. So me going to go cheat on you because you did it, that's not going to help anything. It's actually going to make things worse in a lot of instances. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And so, I don't know, it just...
Why don't people who do that just have the conversation? Why do they make up the story instead of just saying, hey...
Like, pose the question?
Pose the conversation, question, and have the conversation amongst themselves.
I mean, that's what most, in my opinion, most viral content will get more interaction and engagement. Because I'm starting to not believe a lot of this stuff, and I kind of didn't believe this one. But what I did believe is that comment section and people sharing their perspectives on what they thought. And what I got out of that was, like I said, the content in the comment section, right? And what I found was alarming to me is how many women praised, and I'll say that with air quotes, like his stance on not retaliating or taking that opportunity. I thought that was crazy that they seen more of that than more of shunning her for what she did in the first place.
Especially if he's willing not to go that route, then that means he's a good dude and you did that, and they're not getting on her helmet for messing over a good dude. Instead,
exactly.
Praising him for being a good dude and not acknowledging how she dropped the ball or messed up.
Yeah.
Well, nah, because that's like accountability, and that's something that, you know.
It's hard for that.
Yeah. And I just...
Careful.
Yeah, I know. Make a left.
I see that, dude, and it just... what I didn't like about that video, whether it's real or not, it looked emasculating to me. Me getting on camera, just like, I'm gonna be real, Will Smith was, anybody who knows me knows Will Smith was like one of my favorite actors ever, right? I thought it was emasculating watching him at the red table talk to Jada about,
for sure,
August Alsina. You know what I'm saying?
Entanglements.
Now, here's my thing. Because of everything is content, that could be fake. That whole thing could be fake. But fake or not, the way it makes like the men in our culture look is what bothers me. You know what I'm saying? With the way they shine a light on this new definition of what a man is, and a man is supposed to take all of these different things and not take the bait and this, that, and the third, but everybody else can act like full baboons. It's crazy. And so when I seen that, I looked at that like, yeah, that's admirable that, he didn't make the decision to respond or whatever the case is, and just, stay committed. That's ultimately the right thing. You're supposed to do.
I probably would have been on some petty, like, nah, she gave me a pass to cheat, but I told her I'm only cheating if she watch.
Yeah.
I think that's called cuck something on Pornhub.
I don't know, but I know she needs to be front row. Yeah, that's
a sick nigga. If you say that, you a different type of nigga.
Yeah, get my get back. Yeah,
with the lights on or off.
That's crazy work.
What? Ring lights.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like I'm posting content, cuz.
Yo, said with the lights on or off. Cut the lights off and put these night visions on.
If you hit that other switch is actually the LED.
And touch yourself.
Nah, I want you to have any enjoyment.
But no, what if she has to fake the enjoyment? It's crazy, because she's not gonna be enjoying it.
Why does it sound like that scene from 300 when Leonidas' wife had to bust it open for the nation?
Bruh.
And he was like, "You will not enjoy this, for I am not your king." I was like, "Yo,
damn,
how do we get here, man?"
That's some savage shit. That's savagery right there.
Yo, man, that
nigga hurt.
Yeah. Man,
I feel you, brother.
Yo, that tattoo's the soul, bro.
Ooh, that nigga said you got it.
That tattoo's the soul. Yo, somebody's gonna take this. Somebody's gonna take this part of the podcast, and it's gonna end up in a movie, and we're gonna go after them for creative ideas.
This is the bed you created, and now you gotta sleep in it.
And they gotta go to sleep in that same bed. Yo, that's you crazy.
Stupid.
Have a good night.
Oh, you're not gonna change you us.
Where did all that come from? That's just a saying.
It's all coming together now. Why it's so cynical?
Y'all crazy.
It's coming together. That's why it's so cynical.
I didn't say all that. That's wild.
Now lay it down and go to bed.
Order her an Uber. I'm finna go get a sandwich. Matter of fact, after you make my sandwich, order her an Uber.
Y'all like on mental warfare. I was just trying to.
The mental warfare that you said. Watch. That started the mental warfare.
Yo, he gonna go against the co-writers now. This is crazy.
We just building onto the episode. Building off of what you
I said spice it up. He's like, drop the cayenne. Whoa. Oh, gosh. Then Poe's like, I got a ghost pepper. Chill out. Where'd you get that? The garden?
Yo, man.
Damn.
Yo, that's crazy.
That's. Right? I mean, like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's extremely stupid. And I just say that just because it's like, yo, it falls under that line where nothing is private or sacred anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real.
Because it's like, if that was real, then why are you airing your dirty laundry out for people that probably didn't even know? Don't care, and are probably they're probably preying on your downfall.
Yep.
And this is the internet, so like we all know how people are on the internet. No one should be surprised by the comment section. I'm just saying, like, certain things should still remain private. Like I be seeing people like record stuff from like funerals and things like that, and I be like, yeah, y'all, wow, we gotta talk about
because it's nothing is private or sacred anymore. Everybody wants to post everything all over social media so everybody can know what it is they got going on. Like, bro, why? I don't really want nobody outside of my circle knowing what I have going on. I'm not a celebrity. I don't even want to be famous. I just would like to have some of the bank accounts of some of these famous celebrities, but I don't want to be famous or a celebrity. I don't want people in my business. I don't want y'all knowing what I'm doing unless I want you to know. And even then, I don't want you to know everything. I just want you to have a clue or two just to know I'm enjoying life. But posting everything on social media all the time is wild to me. I'm not airing out any of my dirty laundry.
10 seconds of an event I was at on yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't want to record nothing. I just was like, okay, they closing out. Let me show you. It was a nice little scenery ambiance. Got 10 seconds of that and I put my phone away. Like I don't even like taking pictures of places.
I be taking pictures of stuff and I post it after I leave.
Yeah.
I don't you up there right now, bro? I left there 2 hours ago.
Ah, man, I thought you was gonna go the cynical route again and say, "Yeah, pull up."
And now I'm doing it like the last before I leave. I
just sat down, joined you.
I was just there, my nigga. By the time they finish loading, I'm gonna be somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'll pull it up. Where you at? Oh, you at the downtown one? I'm in the Citrus Heights. I'm at the one that that's my bad.
It do hit different when there's multiple locations.
And he's actually a villain for that. He's actually done that to me before.
Multiple locations, man.
I tapped in with him. He was like, "Yo, I'm at Strikes." I was like, "All right, we about to pull up." He's like, "Yeah, I'm just over here eating fries." And I was like, "All right." And I pulled up, and he at the house. I said, "Where you at?" He's like, "Yo, I left."
Bro, when I
told Bree, I said, "I think we should kill him."
When I pull up
should kill him.
to a spot, give me about 5-10 minutes to fill it out. I'll be in there about 5-10 minutes, grab a little drink or something, and then I'm out of here.
The only reason,
because I walk in and nah.
Sometimes I did that for sure.
No.
The only reason why I didn't get mad at him is because I ended up running into somebody I haven't seen since my childhood there. And we've been tapped in ever since.
I just seen Paul.
Yeah. But then,
a little.
He might have been at the one in the north. I might have been the one in Elk Grove. So.
Yeah. I actually ran into somebody that I pretty much went to the same church with in my childhood. And we tapped in. We still tapped in. Don't take you don't get no credit for that. No, there was never a void. There was never a void. There was never a void, man. There was never a void, man. Because we're not finna make this a habit. Like, so what I do for you this time that I didn't show up.
Nah, but your day was
I'm always on time.
You still hung out with a childhood friend.
Nah, man, we just tapped in and we left.
Sent from
and
God.
We left. Yo, this is crazy,
he was,
bro.
Yeah.
Yo, this guy.
You gonna deny a blessing?
Wow.
From heaven.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like. You gonna deny a blessing? That was from God. You know that.
Yo, you crazy for that one. Yeah, you have no sense. You have no sense, my guy.
Pray for that one.
Yeah, I guess so. Yo, before we get out of here, because I know I brought up that scenario, and with the woman cheating or whatever, we don't even know if it's real. Emasculation of men. Specifically black men. Where does this shit come from, bro?
I was gonna make a comment earlier on the in relation to the women cheats topic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understand it. I'm a man, so I have obviously a personal relationship to the topic because I've experienced and have conversed about that topic several times. But I was gonna say, is it almost just like kind of like what happens? It's an effect of the experience that women have had over time and the way in which society has been mainly built by men, constructed by men, the rules laid out, the all the shit that men do in relationships that women have had issues with over time. Is this just now kind of like a turning of the tide?
I would say to that, if we're specifically talking about black men, the only responsibility we have in that is maybe how we have conducted ourselves in certain relationships between our women. Oh, but we have never been in a position in any point in time in this country where we made the rules, where we set certain standards, and we had certain control outside of our community.
Is that our lack of understanding the control and the like the control and how others may have perceived that. Like we might not think that we had as much control or effect as we had, but for the person who on the other end of the on the other side, that might have been different, right?
It's their responsibility to make sure they know what they're talking about. Because at the end of the day, here are the facts. We don't write laws. We don't set the standards and pay. Because when you got to remember, these are the arguments that are being pushed by a certain agenda, a feminist one, if you want me to be specific. Mm-hmm. It's the pay wage gap. It's the respect thing. It's the relationship thing. We don't, as our culture, right? Mm-hmm. We don't have that control. We don't make those decisions. That's why a lot of times people that look like us are celebrated when they do get in certain positions, like a Supreme Court or presidency or a CEO or starting a new whatever, because it's not many of us in those spaces. So when that argument is being presented to us about the way that we are, and that's why the tide is changing, there's a little bit of fallacies there.
Are we talking about in the house or in society?
We're talking about in society, okay, which affects the house.
Because I think it's different in the black household. It's a different set of the way in which people operate, different set of rules and regulations. So yeah, we may not create laws and policies in society and in government, but it's a whole different set of laws and regulations in the house, and cultural, I guess, practices. The way in which our culture, and especially like Northern California, is built on a certain type of man. Like growing up as a young boy, the way in which you think about how you're supposed to interact with women is highly influenced by pimp culture. So in the house, the way in which you think you're supposed to talk and operate and the things you do or not supposed to do are different than maybe in society. That's a whole different conversation, right?
Yeah.
Hoes gonna do what I say. Fuck you talking about. Nah.
There's a lot of women without no floater devices drowning.
So emasculate, right? Deprive a man of his male role or identity. Other definitions: to make someone or something weaker or less effective.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the definitions.
Mm-hmm.
What has happened to majority of our powerful black leaders?
Oh, they've been destroyed or getting destroyed or about to get destroyed.
Assassinated, killed, right?
Yeah.
So the thought of a intelligent, strong black man places fear in the minds of a lot of different people, cultures, factions,
government.
When black men unify, things happen, things get done. Not all the time, but when we're of the same understanding, same morals, same values, working towards the same goals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can communicate, and things get done. So there is a lot of fear that comes from a black man being in a position of leadership. So if you paint this picture of the angry black man, and there a majority of them being pieheads, Jeromes, and Pookies, and then the ones who seem like they might have some type of following or some type of potential to be a leader or somebody that can galvanize the people, they emasculate them. They make them weaker or less effective so that they can dilute the image or the potency of the potential power that they could have, so that they can't be looked at as somebody that can be followed.
Okay.
And so it's
black
about,
man is a powerful image. No matter who you are, that is one of the most powerful images. Is a strong.
So
black man.
So emasculating. You know what I'm saying? Not just like black men, but also the actual image of right makes them seem weaker. less effective,
right?
Not equipped to hold positions of power, positions of leadership, to be somebody that can guide and protect. And that's what they're looking to do, is dilute the overall image of. If they dilute the image, you see it less and less. The less you see it, the less it's a reality and more of a thought, a theory.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us into the military because they thought we were weak and unable to fight. But one of the most highly decorated snipers in Iraq is a black man with long dreadlocks.
And so that's why they want to emasculate, because it helps to drive what it is that they're trying to put out there, as far as how they want the community set up.
Do you think they're using our women to do that, or do you think our women might be
susceptible?
Yeah.
Well, that all started way back in the 80s, when you start talking about being able to get welfare without the men being in the home, and giving a false sense of support from the government.
Yeah.
In the instance that I don't need a man, I can do this on my own. And so you take that plus the independent movement and women feeling like they're not being respected or upheld in the regards that they should. All of the things start coming into play to where it's about, I don't need a man because I can do it myself. But there's things you can't do for yourself that require, you know what I'm saying, a man.
Well, we see that.
But we won't get into all of that. But what I'm saying is, all of those things come into play. And so you look at how women have, in a sense, been conditioned. Yeah. Most of them, they would prefer to have it operate a certain way. And of course, they are kind of, I don't want to say being used, but they kind of are, because
they're utilized.
They're kind of at the front lines, right?
They're just one of the many ways in which it's weaponized. They're just like, the war isn't just, they're not using just one type of weapon. They're using the women. They're using they're using social media. They're using entertainment. They're using any aspect of our culture that they can manipulate, or even what's the word? Have somebody be a mole or whatever. Like there's different ways in which they
there
can weaponize it.
So. Yeah, there are, and I think it's been like that for a long time. But I also think that the reason why I kind of shifted focus on our women, even though our women aren't the only ones, is because I feel like, I believe that what happens when these conversations start about us, it's like automatic trigger. If it's almost guaranteed, if you say black men or black man did ... 9 times out of 10 is going to get a click to see what it's about, what's going on, especially if it's something negative, right? And when I look in media outlets, especially outlets that I know are ran by us, man, we get smeared on a daily and weekly basis as far as imagery. And so when I look at that, and then I look at the conversations that are had under that topic about what we're not doing, what we aren't, and this, that, and the third, it's like, there's a heavy attack that's been there for a while, but I don't think that some of our own don't realize how much they're assisting the other side with that. Because if and when they're done completing that mission, who they going for next? They going for y'all too.
They're gonna keep having to fight that mission, dog. That's an everlasting battle.
You know what I mean?
That mission ain't been completed yet, because, I mean, we do focus a lot on the attack and the weapons that they use, and the different ways in which they are focused on us. But then think about how we counteract that.
Oh yeah,
it's always we're always innovative. So to me, like, they've been trying to do this forever.
Well,
since we landed here.
Yeah, I don't think that it's about. My point isn't about it almost being successful to the point where mission complete. It's more of a hypothetical to get a person to understand, like, yo, it's almost like it's me and you. We running the tables, and it's like, yeah, man, I'm finna take Dizzy out. You know what I'm saying? Poe, it's just gonna be me and you. And it's like, well, shoot, you get my guy out the way, then what's finna happen to me? I don't think people think like that enough. You know what I'm saying? And and the reason why I think this is so important is because we have a lot of these conversations, and I don't think people are understanding, like, now it's getting to a younger age. Like, we talk a lot about black men, you know, this is happening to black men, but now they're trying to get even more creative. It's like, all right, we're going to start from when they're little kids. We're going to start influencing that mind. They're little kids, and put all these different ideas of, hey, you can be whatever you want instead of being who you need to be for your community or for your legacy. You see what I'm saying? And so
for your sanity.
Yeah. I mean, that should be first, right? For your sanity. And then everything else, you know, follows behind that you're connected to. But when I just see the conversations and I see, you know, ignorant shit like, yo, this woman cheating on her husband and all this other stuff, it creates a certain conversation. But then at the same time, it's like a little scary as far as in what people think. And it's like, what about that is progressive? What about your take on how we're operating and what the definition of a man is, or what somebody's idea of a man is versus what it really is and what it's always been. You see what I'm saying? Like, the definition of a man in every day is getting lost.
Well, because they're demeaning men to be able to change the definition.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
They're demeaning men to be able to change the definition and have it fall in line with the agenda that they're looking to put forth. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Their ideologies and yeah.
So it's almost to the point where it's like, you're only a man if you do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But what about A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and the rest of these letters in the alphabet that seem to be so much more important in a different point, like at a different time? What it is the importance of morals, values, and standards has been lost. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, a lot of things that used to hold weight no longer hold weight.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%.
And because of that, you feel me, the fabric is starting to tear.
What are those things that don't hold weight anymore?
I mean,
as far as being a man is concerned.
I mean, being masculine, bro. Mm-hmm. They only say toxic masculinity now, right?
Yeah, that's the only masculinity that gets acknowledged.
But the thing about it is, a lot of things that women require of a man requires a man to be masculine.
Yep.
So as soon as you say you want a man that isn't masculine, you're also talking about you want a man who isn't going to be able to put his foot down on things that need to be taken care of. You're also talking about a man that won't be able to protect you. You're also talking about a man that's going to scream when he sees a spider the same way you are type. You get what I'm
killed
saying?
The last one.
A lot of women don't grew up without a father. So who are they to tell any man what type of man they should be? And how do they even know what type of man they want when all they seen is images? So they're trying to
because
build,
of what they're being fed.
Playing Build-A-Bear.
What they're being fed, what they're hearing, what they're seeing, and what it is they want versus what it is that
they definitely got Build-A-Bear. They definitely got Build-A-Bear.
They're playing
you know what I'm
Build-A-Bear.
saying?
Yeah. Because a lot of it is them not really understanding. It's a fairy tale that they've been fed.
But what about the men that are caping and saying a real man is blah 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 blah? That happens to pander to what these women are saying.
But that's the whole thing.
See, look, even men are saying it.
In a lot of those cases, they're pandering.
Yeah.
Like you said,
these are Panda Express every day.
They're pandering. They're looking for the clicks and the like and the following and the gullables, because everybody knows that. Like, first of all, every relationship between every man and man, woman and woman, whatever that relationship is case by case
Yes, that's fair.
Case.
Absolutely.
How I deal with this female versus how you deal with your woman versus how you deal with your woman is 100% different for each scenario based on the individuals involved and how they operate, how they communicate, how they comprehend, how they execute. My relationship with you is different from the relationship I have with you. Y'all both my bros, but we operate differently with each other based on who we are and how we communicate and deal with each other. That's just what it is. So to sit up here and to listen to a dude telling women how they should be dealing with men when it's going to be different on a case-by-case basis holds just as much weight as a woman trying to tell men how to deal with women when it's a case-by-case. And the whole thing, everybody should be operating and learning from experiences and going based off of that. But I keep saying communicate, because if you're not opening your mouth and talking about what it is you want, what you're looking for, and what you need, nobody talks about what they need until things go left and they're no longer getting what they wanted.
You know something? You brought up the fact that there's so many different elements on relationships. You can handle yours different. You can handle yours different. I can handle mine different, right? As individual men. What I think a lot of people are missing on what defines a man is how you can have a group of 5 men that all move different in their relationships. But what something as simple what can make them men is understanding that. Just that understanding of like, hey, I'm not Harold, or I'm not Jelani, or I'm not Darian, or whatever. But understanding that we all are different and we do what works for us, instead of this generic list of like, this is how you need to be. Because let's keep it 100. A lot of the stuff that we've seen women challenge men on, as far as in what makes you a man or not, have nothing to do with being a man. It could be his height. It could be his income. It's everything that describes a lifestyle.
But those are the things that men value.
Oh, it is?
So they know where to hit you.
That's what we value?
We value our cars. We value our money. We value how much money we make. We also hold value in height. We hold value in certain things. So to me, that's kind of like them just being observant and knowing where to hit us. Like, because some men...
It depends on the man, because I mean, like... I'm not really moved by too much of any of what you said.
No, I'm not, for sure. That's you confident in yourself.
But we're talking about modern men.
There's a lot of
We're
men
talking about modern men. Okay. If we're talking about modern men, I 100% agree with you. I was a little lost for a minute. But yeah, modern men operate like that. Because I'm with Chappelle. Remember what Chappelle was saying, that like majority of the shit that we've done has been for women. You know what I'm saying? Like coming up when we were younger and, wanting a certain type of car or whatever the case it was, that's what it used to be. Like, look at me, I have my shit together, right? And then a lot of modern men have turned into divas where they competing with these women. You see what I'm saying? They're competing with them. And that's something we never did.
Compete. I mean, if you want to pick up the sticks or grab the hoop rock, we can. That's the only.
But that's not going to be a competition at all. It's going to be a landslide.
I'm whooping yo.
Because I'm a dog you on Call of Duty.
Yes, or 2K.
But
at the park.
But we do see that with modern men. Now, you're 100% right. They gotta have the money and this, that, and the other. They even wearing some of these women's clothes now. But the cloth that we have been cut from, the factory that we come out of, we're not paying no attention. That's what they do. Mm-hmm. Just like I had a revelation like a long time ago. It's like, I'm not finna sit up and argue with no woman. Women argue with each other. I'm not finna sit up here and argue with you on the comment section. I'm not finna argue with you in the middle of the street. I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, no.
If I can't put my hands on you, I'm not arguing with you.
A woman I don't know.
Now, if it's man to man, we have a debate or whatever the case is, and for some reason, I need to be able to do that. Can't do that to a woman. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Not in public.
I've had arguments with women.
You with the Sean Connery route, huh? Just give her a little smack here and there. Tell her to calm down.
Yeah.
With women I know, I'll have a debate or two. Yeah. But if I don't know you, I can let that shit go like.
But that's a debate. You know what I'm saying? That's a debate. I understand that.
Between a debate and an argument,
a lot.
The difference is this: I'm not even really big on arguing or debating. I'm big on understanding.
Yeah.
So I will get frustrated because I might be talking to you and I'm trying to get you to understand something, and instead of you listening to what I'm saying and answering the question. Right? Mm-hmm. Because if you answer the question that I'm asking, then you're going to have the understanding that I have, and then we're done.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like?
But instead of answering the question, you'll talk about other stuff, which women will do, right? You'll say, well, what about booty whoop whoop? And they'll say, blah, blah, blah. But what about wooty whoop whoop? And blah, blah, blah. What about wooty whoop whoop? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like,
they'll try to downplay that.
That wooty whoop whoop mattered, though.
You ever been in a scenario when you're telling your story and you're trying to get to it and they like, cutting you off, like not letting you get to the point, and then because
they're making points in between your statements,
and they think they know the full concept of what you're saying. Like, nah, let me. And land.
Then when you land the plane, they don't know where you at now.
You don't never land. You never get to land.
Because once I hit the ground, I still got a taxi.
You never get to land.
I'm gonna get there, just
crazy, man.
Nah, but yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is, dog.
I thought it was the only one dealing with that.
But the thing is, like, I don't care. Like, we've talked about this before. I'm not into arguing because it's not really about being right or wrong for me.
About being understood.
It's about being understood. Yeah. Because if you can understand where I'm coming from or how I feel about, this situation and things similar to this situation, if we ever cross this situation again, you'll know where I stand on it because you understand how I feel about it. It's not about me being right or wrong because depending on how you grew up, you feel me, your reality and the nuances of what you've experienced, we both can be right or we both can be wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Or I could just be right.
Yeah, most of the time that's how it works. But I'm just saying.
You laughing, but nah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I could just be right.
But there is room for error.
Yeah.
And depending on, like Absolutely. I said, you know what I'm saying, different nuances, you might be right.
I might be monopoly rules for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's always about understanding. And if you don't understand me, that's where I get frustrated because I'm always conversing, coming from a point of understand what I'm saying, understand where I'm coming from. So now I'm not going to argue, but I get pissed off if it's like I'm trying to land a plane and I'm asking you to hit the landing gears, and she don't want to hit the landing gears because she.
Why didn't you ask me that earlier? Like, you didn't even show me where it's at. Now you want to act like I just trying to land a plane.
I just pointed right there. It's only one lever. It actually says landing gear on the side.
And I think you made a very valid, strong point on maybe that's probably what the big disconnect is that we don't have understanding amongst each other anymore. I think earlier times there was an understanding between men and women, even if there wasn't always an agreement, there was still understanding. Where now in today's society, there's no understanding at all of the other side. It's just assumptions and arguments.
Things were so much less complicated back then. Things are so convoluted now, and I don't understand why.
It was set rules and regulations.
They're still there, but nobody respects or acknowledges them.
That's a big thing too.
Running around without any rules and regulations.
Well, because the thing about it is like this:
to what was already supposed to be what they did. It's like kids.
You know what's funny that you say that because I think it was last year where I started seeing a trend with women because my wife brought it up. Where it was a trend of women saying soft girl culture or whatever the case is.
Soft girl era.
Yeah, soft girl era, and it was like, man, that's what it was always
women
been with
always
women.
Supposed to be soft.
Yeah. So now y'all got buttons that y'all can press and just turn into different people.
Nah,
so you can turn into different people, but we can't date different people at the same time. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm saying.
Like, I don't know. We don't have eras. Do we have eras?
It's so crazy because it's like there was this whole independent movement. Women became independent. In the midst of them becoming independent, they had to start becoming more masculine because of being independent and the things that they had to do, right? So then they started to become more masculine. Now they upset that they independent, and because of them being independent, they have to be more masculine. So now they want to be in their soft girl era, and it's where's my dude at?
Homie.
Roll
them trash cans back up.
Did you catch all of that though?
I thought you was changing the brakes. You ain't gonna change the brakes?
Be independent. In the midst of being independent, you're gonna have to do things that you normally wouldn't do that will bring about a different type of energy, a masculine energy, because of the role that you now have to play.
Right.
Now that you're playing that role, you're unhappy in that role, and you're like, yeah, I'm tired of being strong all the time. Yeah, so are men, but that's our role.
Yeah, that's our
you
role.
You want to be independent. Being independent means you got to pick up more. You got to wear more hats. You have to wear more. You have to operate in more roles.
You got to wear the hard hat and the 59 fitted hat.
So now, you out here and you're masculine. You do it all for yourself, and independent. Now you like, yeah, this ain't it.
This ain't it.
I need a dude. I want a relationship. I want to be in my soft girl era. When if you had just operated the way you were supposed to, like your mom had told you, you want to go see what that independent lifestyle was about. Now you 35.
You wanted to listen to all of these rappers instead of listening to your mom. But sometimes some of their moms be sounding like these rappers.
Now you 35 with a degree and no kids, and you got more muscles than half the dudes you know. Now you want to be a soft girl?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, stop touching me, Schwarzenegger. Strong ass arms.
You want to go hoop or
all
not?
that masculine.
You want to go hoop or not? Because soft girl.
Well, what's crazy? Now that I think about it, it's like
hugs feel so different.
It's like you. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Dude, man.
Why do my mind wasn't even there? Now I'm thinking about like, man, it's a firm ass hug.
Yeah, dog.
You gotta start dapping these niggas.
You got dapping your girl is crazy when you say, what's up, dog?
Hey man, that's a real thing. You see J. Cole, he dapped up Beyonce when he seen Jay-Z and Beyonce.
That's a different type of,
you know what I'm saying?
See
what Ghost tried to do a couple years ago. Yeah, so he understood. But
that was wild.
But now what I was gonna say is that everything that you said about like a lot of these independent women reverting back to not wanting to do all of these independent things, the crazy part is it's actually okay to feel that way.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what they don't understand. That like as that's another part of being real men is that we understand and it's okay. I just hoped you learned something behind that, because this is something that we've been molded to be since we were young men. Even if it's something simple, even if you didn't grow up with a little sister, you were still learning how to be a man if you had a younger brother, because you had somebody to be responsible for. You see what I'm saying? And so, when I look at that, it's like this is not working out in their favor like they try to give the perception. It's not. No. And it's all right, because you're doing things that you shouldn't have to do.
Yeah, it's not part of your natural order or role.
Yeah.
Necessarily. Yeah. There are, not saying that there are specific roles that women and men should have to play, but there are the natural energy that surrounds those roles.
But it's okay to say that there are too, bro, because we all believe that
energy around them, right?
Yeah,
there are men who are great cooks, women who are great cooks, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You're gonna bring a masculine energy with you, right?
Yeah,
that's the difference. Like you don't have to bring the masculine energy with you if you're not a masculine. If you're a woman who has a feminine energy, you don't have to try to.
I hope all women have feminine energy.
They don't, man. We just talked about them strong ass hugs, man.
Going crazy.
I'm just saying though, because you should though. Right? Like what I'm saying, I would just hope all women have feminine energy, because you're supposed to.
According to science, I don't know. That's what
you
they
a
say.
Farmer. Talk to me about science. Shut up.
I'm just saying,
Unless you're talking about the science of a
some
plant.
mishaps every once in a while.
This man over here patenting seeds right now.
Yeah,
talking
I'm trying
about
to hear that.
Man.
You know how it is. I think the moral of the story is leave us alone. Stop telling us what we are, because we know what we are, and figure out who you are.
Yeah. Ooh,
I'll just leave it at that.
All right, leave it there.
Just leave it at that.
Leave it there. Don't go no further with that one.
And another thing. We finna get out of here.
Figuring out who you are in a masculine female conversation is crazy.
That's a conversation we can have another day. Yeah. But until then, y'all figure that out.
We don't have to.
But anyways,
I make it real simple.
He finna end another episode on this episode.
See, Candace Owens just got kicked off.
See, you already starting, man. Listen, you already know where to find us in the comment section. You got to turn that notification on. Tune in to the Notion Podcast. Follow us on all platforms. You've been tuning in to another great episode of the Notion Podcast. I'm your host, Dizzy D. Spill, with my co-host in the building,
Jelani Evans,
Farmer Poe.
As always, we are the Notion. Until next time, peace.